Hello everyone. In this new tutorial, we will make a low poly stylized 3D character. We will look into different modeling and shading techniques in Blender. The design is based on a character from the game Hollow Knight SilkSong. So let's start with this one. With the default cube selected, add a subdivision modifier with 3 levels. Make sure to apply this modifier as well. This will add more resolution in the cube. If you need to see the wireframe over the object, you can enable it through the overlay menu. Now press Z and switch to wireframe mode. Go in the edit face mode, select all the left half side faces and press X to delete them. Add a mirror modifier to generate the other side of the object. Right click and select Shade Smooth. In the edit face mode, I will select some of the faces on the top right area. Press E to extrude them outwards. I will extrude the faces 2-3 times more and using the transform tool, move and scale to build the shape of the head horns. Before moving to the next step, check if you have enabled Loop Tools add-on. Go to Preferences. In the Extensions, enable Loop Tools. This add-on helps to perform different modeling operations. Now in the Edit Edge mode, select one loop in the horn area, right-click and go to Loop Tools. Select the Circle option. This will make the flow of edges go in a circular path. You can also repeat the last operation by pressing Shift R. To further improve the look of our model, we can also use different sculpting brushes. Switch to Sculpt mode. Select the grab brush and using a lower strength value, I will refine the shape of the head. You can see the model is breaking in the middle. To fix it, before doing any sculpting, enable the clipping setting in the mirror modifier. You can press shift click to smooth out any areas and blend them with the topology. I will continue refining the shapes. To move the horns back, we can use the pose brush. Select it and make the brush size quite big and move it from the top so the head horns are moved back. Shift click again to smooth out any rough shapes. Remember to save your file. For adding the eyes, go in the edit face mode and select some of the faces on the front. Right click, go to Loop Tools and use the circle operation. The shape of the selected faces will become in a circular way. Using the transform tool, stretch the shape a little. Next, press E to extrude them inside. The topology outside of the eyes is looking a bit stretched at some places. In the Edit Vertex mode, we can move some of the vertices to make the topology flow better. While this can be a time-consuming thing, we can also go in the Sculpt mode and here you will find the Relax Slide brush. Hold the Shift key and click over the topology to make it better. Let's add the cloth part for the character. Shift A and add a cylinder object with 24 sides. I am trying to keep it low poly, but you can use a higher value as well. In the edit mode, select the top and bottom faces and delete them. Select the top edge loop and make it smaller. Select the bottom edge and make it bigger. With the top edge loop selected, move it outwards, extrude and scale. In the bottom vertices, select one vertex first. Leave the next vertex and select the other one. Now press Shift Ctrl Numpad Plus to select alternate vertices. This works on edges and faces also. Press Alt S to push the selected vertices outwards. I will add 3 more edge loops in the middle of the cloth part. Scale them inside to build the shape. Select the bottom edge loop and extrude it 2 times to build the inner shape. You do not have to fill the entire inside area. Right click, shade smooth the object. Make any changes and adjustments as you like to. We can turn on the statistics value to see how many faces we currently have. Next we will add the body. For this, add a UV sphere with 12 segments, make it small and position it inside. I will reuse the same object for the legs. Duplicate with Shift D, make it a bit longer. You can press Shift Z to restrict scale along one axis. Add a mirror modifier and select the body object to create the other leg. In the edit mode, select one edge loop in the middle, turn on proportional editing and make the scale bigger with the mouse wheel and slightly bend the leg shape. For adding the arms, I will simply duplicate the leg object, make them a bit smaller and position them near the top body area. Finally, we will add a sword object. I will use a 12-sided cylinder, make it smaller and long. Add a torus object with 12 segments and position it on the side. To align two or more objects, you can go in the transform menu and use the align objects setting. Better to assign shortcuts or add to quick favorites. Rotate the torus, place it on the top of the cylinder. I will add 2 edge loops in the middle. Please note that I am going with a faster speed for this tutorial, otherwise you should take your time modeling all these details. Join the torus object with the cylinder to make it into one. Rotate it and place it in the hand. You can change the transform orientation to local. In this way you can easily scale along the rotated axis. At the back, move some parts of the cloth so the sword does not clips through it. And this should complete most of the modeling part. I will now rename all the objects. Save your file here. Next we will add colors to our model. I will be using a simple vertex paint approach here. Create one new material. Change the color to any other for now. Select all the objects and then from the material menu, select copy to selected to apply it on all of the selected objects. Select the cloth part and go in the data properties. In the color attribute settings, add a color node. You do not have to change any value here. Do this for all the remaining objects. In the shader editor, From the base color, drag a point to add and connect a color attribute node. Select the color in the menu. Your entire object will become black because that was the color we set when adding the color attribute property. Back in the main viewport, press Ctrl Tab and switch to Vertex Paint. In this mode, you will find different brushes and tools to paint which we can use. On the side in the Tools panel, open the Color Palette setting. There will be a pre-made color palette. Select it to load the different colors. Pick any color and you can start painting on the model. You can also use tools like Blur, Smear, Average to blend colors. In low poly models like this one, vertex colors are useful when you want to use only simple solid fill colors. To fill the entire object with one color, you can press Ctrl X. Make sure the strength is set to 1. I will be using a dark red color here. Now move the mouse over the head and press Alt Q to make it active. It will quickly highlight. Select white color and press Ctrl X to fill it. Make the sword object active and use a dark gray color for it. The legs and arms will remain black, so we do not have to fill them. Back in the head object, we want to fill the inner eye faces with black color. First I will select them in the edit face mode. Now switch to vertex paint with the selected faces. Turn on paint mask button. The selected faces will be masked. Use a black color to fill. In this way you can quickly assign simple solid colors. You do not have to create any UVs or texture sets. You can export your models with these same vertex paint to any game engine as well, and it offers high performance when loading as there are no textures. In the sculpting mode, I will slightly refine the shape of the eyes. In case you see a message at the bottom when you switch to sculpt mode, it may say non-uniform scale. So go back in the object mode, press Ctrl A for the transform menu and reset scale. This will make the sculpting brushes to work correctly. I will speed up this part of the video. Using the grab brush, I will slightly make the eyes smaller. I will add 3 more edge loops in the horn area. You can also move a few points at different locations of the cloth so the shape is not completely symmetrical. Looking at the statistics, we can see our model is quite low poly and optimized, but you can add more details if you need to. In the material, I will reduce the index of refraction value to 1.2, making it less shiny. And this should complete most of the texturing part as well. Now coming to the rendering, switch to rendered view. In the environment tab, change the color to any you like to use in the background. Press Shift A and add a sunlight. Position it so the light is coming from the front. Increase the strength to about 20 and change the angle to 1 for sharper shadows. Change its color to slightly orange or yellow. Switch to camera view. Click the lock icon so you can adjust the view which you want to use. I will set the frame size to 1080 by 1080 square. Now press Shift A and add a grease pencil scene line object. This will add outlines to all of the objects in the scene. You can change the line thickness, color, other settings as well, but I will not be changing anything here. Back in the material, increase the roughness to 8.0 or 1. In the color management, use filmic mode with a medium contrast. Keep in mind, if you move out of the camera view, grease pencil lines may not look correct. So make sure you are viewing from the camera view. Let's improve our shading a little more. I have a collection of shader nodes from my previous stylized tutorial which I am going to paste here. So don't worry in case it looks complex. I will show you the entire node setup, how it is done, or you can just check my tutorial for it. These nodes will add a stylized look by adding some details in the normal property of the object. Here is the entire node. Next, we will switch to the Compositing tab. Split the viewport. In the top part, enable Use Node Settings. In the lower part, set the camera view. Enable Always setting for the compositor to show the results. Add a filter node in the compositor and connect it. Change the type to Diamond Sharpen. This will slightly sharpen the image quality and adding a more stylized effect. But this is totally your preference if you want to use it or not. Experiment with other nodes as well. And from here you can continue improving the look. And this completes the tutorial. I added a few extra elements and some new shaders in my final scene. You can download this project for free from my Gumroad page. I hope you find this tutorial useful in some way. If you like to see more, please consider giving this video a like, subscribe, leave a comment and turn on notification bell. Thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next one.